Today it's raining a little bit, which is kind of okay. We've got some logs loaded up. I got the white oak ones loaded. 13.5 feet long. Got kind of a larger one here. Got to get some 4x6s sawed down by the Amish, so I got to take a ride here. I got these loaded up yesterday, and I got one 8-footer in there. It just happened to be just a little crooked, so I did make an 8 instead of trying to waste so much. And then I got some more logs down here, but I think I'm gonna have to take 2 loads anyway. But today we're just gonna saw those ones for the barn that need to replace that ceiling and beam. So, and then I got some carving logs here. Somebody brought me these, and they've got some requests out of that. Maybe someday in the future I can hopefully show you what I carve out of those. So anyhow, we're gonna get on the road. I gotta be there in half an hour. My saw, in case I need it. I'm sure they probably got one there too, but this device, all that a Kentuck. It's a very old tool, but to roll the logs onto the mill. But I think the rain is probably gonna be stopping before I get there, or slowing down, which, as warm as it is outside, I think that would be okay if it was sprinkling on us while we're doing something like that. And we got our dump trailer with, so when we get there we can dump them, because they don't really have any real special way to get those logs on the mill other than to roll them on. So I think this is going to work okay. They did put some electric fence up here this morning, and they got this 4-acre field here near our house. It's kind of here around the trench too. We graze our dairy cows here. A lot of white clover in there. I'm very impressed at how thick it is. Then we just kind of ran some heavier posts around the pile here just to be sure that they stay standing nice. But these fences are okay. They're not very hardy, but it's close to the buildings, along our driveway. If something would happen to get undone, we'd notice it probably right away. We'll check back in with you guys as we go here. Maybe we get a few clips of the mill running. The Amish aren't necessarily ones that want to get photographed, and I gotta say I can't blame them, but I think we could maybe get a little bit of the mechanics of the mill or something going. It's a bandsaw mill. It'll saw up to 24 footers. I'm not even sure what the brand name of it is, but it's something that was bought in the early 90s, I assume. I used to saw on that mill with those guys way back then already, so. Okay, we're home with our load of white oak. Well, I guess we could call these 5x6s. I had to have the 6-inch for sure, but the thickness of them didn't matter as much. But anyway, we've got 8 5x6s. Then what happens when you saw lumber, you end up with the side cuts. Like you can see, there's a little bark, which I always believe that the edge of the tree is the healthiest part of the tree, which is kind of the newest part of the tree. But you can accept some of that bark, but not too much, because it interferes with the strength. Like some of the beaming, I could probably got away with that, but we had trouble. Either we could get 4 out of a log or 2. To get 3 out of it, you end up wasting so much. So anyway, we got a couple 2x6s, we got a couple 2x10s, and then I had one shorter log that I had to cut off that was just a little crooked, and to get decent yield up, I just put that one all into these 2x4s. And again, we cut these. When we sawed them to 1.5 inches by 3.5, so they kind of match up to what you'd normally buy, which is that way if we use them places, because a full 2-inch sometimes is almost too much, depending on where you use them. Some kind of feed bunk stuff, some kind of place where there's cattle up against it, or you need that more bluntness, then I like to get them a full 2 inches, especially the heavy planks. But in this case, that's gonna work good, so there'll be some extra lumber there. So we got them home, and we'll be sure to tune back in with you guys when we're putting these up. See how that goes.